everything they needed.
That one goes for 24 yards. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Foles. Flushed out right. And his throw is incomplete. Torrey Smith, the intended receiver. And now it's second down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Give him 6 on the screen, but now it's third down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Flush to his right. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this third down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
NFL teams last year a little under 50% on fourth down conversions. This is a bit tougher. 4th and 4. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And it is incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And this defense will take over right at midfield. I want to give a hat tip real quick, Charles, to J.J. Watt before the possession switches here. Walter Payton, NFL Man of the Year, and they totaled up how much he helped raise for hurricane relief, $37 million.
Incredible. Hurricane Harvey, which really hit the Houston area in a big way, and his original goal was $200,000. So congratulations to J.J. Watt and all the people who participated. And Greg Olsen of the Panthers, Benjamin Watson of the Ravens, both tight ends, also nominated and finalists for the most prestigious award as determined by the NFL, the Walter Payton Man of the Year Award.
Now Wilson. Throw left side complete. It's Carson. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third. And they try to swing it out left into the flat. Complete, but really nice open field tackle.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
On is the punter, Ryan, to send this one away. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. But before the possession switches here, I had written down that I wanted to talk about some of the awards this past season in the NFL. We know Brady was the MVP, but Todd Gurley, Offensive Player of the Year.
How about that for a bounce back? Many were questioning whether he'd had a sophomore slump the season before. Didn't even get to 1,000 yards. Was a dominant force in 2017. How about his teammate Aaron Donald on the defensive side? He took home Defensive Player of the Year award.
Yeah, very impressive. They had both sides of the ball. Sean McVay deserving, I think you would agree, of Coach of the Year.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, what he did for the Rams when they went from last in the league in scoring to leading the league in scoring and winning a division title. And how about the New Orleans Saints? Rookie of the Year, offense and defense. Alvin Kamara on offense, Marshawn Lattimore on defense.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the all-pro free safety, Earl Thomas. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. So the football switching hands here in just a second. And, you know, Tom Brady, just to go off on a tangent for a second, may have lost the Super Bowl. But 3rd MVP this past season, and what he did at age 40, really something, right, Charles?
Absolutely phenomenal. Ended up beating out Todd Gurley, the running back for the Los Angeles Rams. But he would have traded it for a Super Bowl win, don't you think? How about this? The last 9 NFL MVPs to play in the Super Bowl that same season, 0-9 went 9.
Yeah.
You go all the way back to Kurt Warner in, what, 1999, where he won the double?
We were going over that stat earlier. That is hard to believe.
But he would have been the MVP had the Patriots pulled that one out.
He still has 5 rings, though. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. Before the offense changes hands here, let's look back to the Super Bowl February 5th. What a game. I know you were there calling it offensively, though. Impressive on both sides.
It certainly was, and let's face it, if you're in Minnesota, it's cold outside, but you talk about the offenses, they heated up in a big way. And how about Nick Foles? The backup quarterback turned MVP, 373 yards, 3 touchdowns, and, of course, the big one receiving on the Philly special.
Quite a story. As you and I were talking about off air, it was just a fluid game. Not a lot of penalties, just really clean play.
Exactly the type of game the NFL needed for the audiences at home watching the game and, of course, people in attendance. A really well-played game.
Gonna look deep for Jeffrey, and that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. The Eagles on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. They'll throw now on the final play. Eluding the pressure right. Gonna look deep for Jeffrey. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. So you want the 3rd quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. They'll start out on the ground with Carson. Oh, and now he bowls him over. Space to maneuver at the 40. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A big hitter there. A first down gain of 26 yards.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him. Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
They'll run it now out of the gun. They'll get only a couple down to the 44.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. They control the clock. They control the ball.
Looking for Lockett, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Rodney McLeod. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Now, before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. Now Foles drops it off to Ajayi. Now another timeout called for by the offense. And that's going to leave him with just 1 timeout remaining still in the 3rd quarter. We'll see if that comes back to haunt him. We'll be back. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball.
And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by the all-pro free safety, Earl Thomas. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. Thought they had something going there to break that goose egg here in the second half, but to no avail.
Hope was alive until that interception. What a terrific play, taking the ball away after it looked like they were starting a drive.
And now that shutout still standing. You know that's something those defensive guys hold a lot of pride on, too.
No doubt about it. They are excited about where they are in this game. Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk
into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Nigel Brown. And he'll take this back down inside the 20. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. So, boy, that's already the third they've burned here. They are out of timeouts now before we've even hit the fourth quarter. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there. It's second down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
That ball's caught. Aguilar right side. And a big hit. Knocked down sideways. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
On 3rd and 1, I think everyone in the stadium thought they'd try and run the football there, but they tried to surprise the defense and hit something through the air. Instead, it results in an incompletion.
And Elliott puts this one through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So after the pick, they can't capitalize for 6, but they do get 3.
And I know in this situation, most of us wanted to focus on the offense. You know what side of the ball I played on. Let's give that defense a lot of credit, taking it over in a sudden change situation and shutting them down.
Here's a handoff to Carson to begin the drive. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
And welcome back. We are in the city of... As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3. Out of the gun. Here's Wilson. And finding the tight end, Wilson. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. One Wilson to another for a Seahawk first down.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively a backbreaker. This is Carson. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Decent chunk of yardage still left here. 2nd and 7. They run again with Carson. And he's got some space here. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. That one 28 yards on the ground. Probably had 60,000 thinking pass right there, including us in the booth.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That was a big call, big guts on that one. And guess what? That run, it'll pay dividends.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you watch high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
The Seahawks on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Well, Charles,